Hi, I'm Nathan Villarreal, and I was a member of the GBM 440 program. If you don't know, it's a study abroad program, but I believe that you do know because that's why you're watching this video. Through this video, hopefully, I am going to detail you my experience, my opinions, and market to you why you should join the program, why you should become a member of a life-changing experience. A bit about myself. Ever since I was a kid, I've always wanted to explore new countries, cultures, and connections, right, that I thought originally were just pipe dreams. However, through this program, I was able to experience not only just that, but a lot more than I expected. And being able to do this with just a cohort is something that I will never forget. I've made connections with people that I hope will last a lifetime, and I know I will get to see grow and change from this experience specifically. I saw that the program lasted 2 weeks and promised a transformative experience while exploring Germany, Austria, and Italy. Through this experience, I'd be learning about international business, culture, and having the unique experience of traveling with a cohort. Mine, luckily, was about 12 people, so it was a bit on the smaller side, but sizes have been up to 25 and more in the past. If I can be honest for a minute, this experience has changed my life, okay? And it not only changed my life at the end of the trip, but I really felt that change about halfway through. I've gained a lot of confidence throughout this trip. I've met people that helped me step out of my comfort zone on the trip. I've gained a lot more motivation. I've broken a lot of bad habits, and I've gained a lot of good habits while being on this trip. I've learned so much from so many different people and so much from so many different companies that I cannot express enough how much this trip has changed my life. But it only works if you are able to engage and you really put yourself out there and become a bit more extroverted like I did. I'm not gonna lie, I felt a bit nervous, okay? I didn't fully know how I was going to fit in with the rest of the crew. However, I made a promise to myself that I would find a way to engage with everyone on my cohort in a positive way, making new connections, and well, I think I did just that. I hope that this video either pushes you to make a decision that you were already thinking about in joining the GBM 440 program, or it at least makes you consider it after hearing my story and what I went through. So let's dive right in, shall we? The main goal of the program is to show crew members the ins and outs of international business in Germany, Austria, and Italy. During this 2-week-long trip, you tour corporate offices, warehouses, and production plants. From the pre-trip analysis of our major to the post-trip reflection paper, the program is full of insights into international businesses, with each member highlighting topics that intersect with their major. My personal interests surround marketing and the promotional content within the international businesses that we would explore. But even stepping outside of the marketing lens, I learned a lot from this. I learned a lot about and was enthralled with the global supply chain, financial management, and machine learning strategies that a lot of the international companies use. Every aspect of business really opened my eyes to how businesses operate, their organization strategies, how they lead these tours, and what was so special about them. Every aspect of the trip that pertained to international business helped me finally understand a lot of the bits and pieces that I was already missing. Okay, I didn't fully understand how businesses organize themselves inside their own warehouses or factories, or how do they organize assembly lines? How do they find space within these massive warehouses to fit such a compact design? How does just-in-time work? How does just-in-sequence work? A lot of these questions that I've learned in just the first year at CSUSM, I've actually gotten a lot more from. And I know my fellow seniors and juniors in my cohort felt the exact same way. Now, I don't want to spoil too much, but you get the idea. Here are just some of the terms that we went over during our trip through Germany, Austria, and Italy, and the many businesses that we went through. And here's some of the businesses that we toured as well. I promise you, there is a lot to go through. Now, GBM 440 isn't just a course and a program about international business. That is a main focus of it, but it also wants to highlight a lot of culture about Germany, Austria, and Italy. And by gosh, did we go through a lot of culture. During my experience, we traversed through castle ruins, historic palaces and gardens, and monumental landmarks such as churches and other places as well. These cultural visits left a lot to be uncovered, yet gave me a lot of answers that I thought were incredibly interesting, and gave a lot more story to things like the castles, like the palaces. They gave me a lot more insights to the German culture, the Austrian culture, and the Italian culture as well. I think this, along with the freeing and fulfilling feeling of running 3 miles in Innsbruck, Austria at 6 in the morning because you're surrounded by the Alps, is what makes this trip so special. It complements the international business side of things so well. And I think that you, as a member of this program, will love the scenery, especially My personal favorite, Innsbruck, Austria. I think I would live there if I could afford it, if that is, right? So, I mean, it is just incredible. Obviously, you're not alone when you take this course. You are with a cohort of peers in business administration such as yourself. In my opinion, this is one of the most life-changing aspects of the program. Getting to share 2 weeks with strangers who you've only met a few times prior to this, some of them who you've never met in your life, and you're touching down in Germany with, sharing an entirely new experience in an entirely new 3 countries with as well. That is crazy. My roommate I didn't meet until he knocked on the hotel room door, and I opened it, and there he was, and that was the first time I met him. That's my roommate. That's my man right there. That's my guy. As a crew member, you become more than just a tourist, but you become an adventurer. As you stray far beyond the path that was set for you, you take on new challenges, you become a lot more independent, and you engage in activities that you probably wouldn't engage in at home. What I thought was really cool, however, were the personal questions that I asked each member, such as what were their favorite song and what was their favorite quote. For some of them, it really fit the bill on who they are as a person. What I also thought was really interesting is you get to see personalities and characters kind of break out of their shell. How the group chat, like Mr. Professor Dr. Bancheri mentioned, changes from the beginning of the trip to the end of the trip, and how each and every person has grown a lot closer in 2 weeks and a lot faster than you would have imagined. You get to see everyone divulge themselves into the executive tours and, according to their major, ask a lot of interesting questions that you probably didn't know that you had. It is truly a one-of-a-kind experience to share these memories with strangers who quickly evolve into family. Now, I don't want you to just listen to me and my own opinion. I want you to hear it from a few of my members that were on my cohort as well. Thank you to Lindsay, Sarah, Ashley, and Richard for helping me with this and giving me their testimonies.
My favorite experience through this trip was just getting to meet everyone and like seeing how much we genuinely kind of align in like our career paths. And that was like my favorite experience, and just seeing everybody kind of get more comfortable with each other.
My favorite part of this experience and this trip was getting to run around European cities, Germany, Austria, and Italy with some of the most funniest people that I will ever have had the honor to meet. Honestly, just meeting these people was a dream come true.
So my favorite experience, I must say, just exploring the city. That was really fun. Just hanging out with you guys. I was blessed.
My favorite part of the trip was exploring the city with everyone and just having fun.
Thank you for watching this video, and I hope that a bit of my opinion and perspective, along with a few of the members of my cohort, have at least changed your perspective on this trip and made you either a bit more curious or at least reinforced those positive traits and characteristics that you saw in the program prior to watching this video. Please give it a shot. And again, thank you for watching.